Bay Road in East Palo Alto is a place of contradictions. On one hand, there is the natural beauty of the marshland that sits next to the San Francisco Bay, while a few yards away lie the signs of industrial operations that have been here for decades. The most controversial of these is Romic, a hazardous waste processing facility that ran operations on Bay Road for more than 50 years before shutting down in 2007. While today the 14-acre site carries almost no signs of its former function, to many people in the surrounding community the land is a constant reminder of environmental injustice. Keisha Evans is a member of the advisory board for Youth United for Community Action, a group that organized residents in the battle to kick Romic out of the area.
The argument is, well, we're sending it there because that's where the facility is. It could be someplace else too. Romic has a long history here. They were here when toxics were just taken and dumped into the field. There's a lot of groundwater contamination because of years of stuff. And that's what all of this EPA, cheese whey, and molasses is about.
Cheese whey and molasses is what is being used to clean up Romic's groundwater contamination, water that the EPA says is not being used by East Palo Alto residents. But many in the community believe that the full extent of Romic's effect on public health has yet to be addressed by the authorities. Pam Ingebretson believes that the company may be responsible for a cough she acquired around the time that an accident at Romic released a huge plume of smoke into the air. That was 4 years ago.
Yeah, this cough. Well, it hasn't gone away since I got it. I finally went to the doctor when I was convinced that I couldn't kick it on my own. And I've been healthy as a horse. I mean, historically, I don't get coughs. I don't get colds. I'm really, really healthy. I finally went to the doctor. I went to Kaiser, I guess, in January, when I realized it wasn't going away. And they didn't know what to do with me. They sent me home with allergy medicine. I've tried every allergy medicine I think ever known to man. I've tried medications suggested to me for postnasal drip. I was then diagnosed with asthma, which I never had ever in my life. But ironically, my asthma medicine doesn't seem to really be helping me a whole lot. And I feel like nothing really helps. And I still have this persistent cough. And I never feel like I can get a completely full breath, lung full of breath of air.
There have been, in my opinion, large numbers of cancer deaths in our community. I can't tell you the number of friends that I have who develop cancer and various kinds.
I know that my friend Trish, who lives, walking, in 100, 200 yards from Romic, I saw firsthand, what the weird ailments that started popping up with her all of a sudden after. I mean, it was scary, stuff I've never seen before. She had infected blisters on her scalp that antibiotics weren't clearing up.
Bob Hoffman, Romic's lawyer, says that there are other more likely sources for the community's health problems, such as air pollution from the nearby freeway. And while it is notoriously difficult to link diseases with environmental factors, authorities generally agree that it is unlikely that the 2006 plume reached the residential area surrounding the facility. But for the most part, the people here have lost faith in the authorities. After all, it took them 50 years to shut down the plant, and the toxic waste itself was coming from the high-tech companies that made Silicon Valley wealthy. A few weeks ago, Romic settled with the San Mateo County District Attorney's Office for $350,000 to compensate for the 2006 accident. Only $6,000 of that made its way back to East Palo Alto. The company acknowledged no wrongdoing, but they also agreed to never again operate in California. For people like Evans, the settlement is just a call to further action.
But all over this country, in all kinds of communities of color and communities that are economically challenged, these kinds of facilities continue with less oversight than we had, because we had more because we were knocking on the door.
Do you think justice, for lack of a better word, will ever be served for the citizens of East Palo Alto who've been affected by Romic?
Oh, would be wonderful to say, yeah. And again, it would have to be spearheaded to find out who all have been affected and to what degree. And then, you know, you talk about lawsuits and, excuse me, all that stuff. I would love to say, yeah. I would love to say, yeah. But I don't know.